So the woman you've all been looking forward to. I'm of old school, so I have to start off with a joke, right? Two Adams are walking down the street. One of them looks at the other one and says, gee, I think I've lost an electron. The other one says, are you sure? He says, yes, I'm positive. So, I hope that you feel positive, similarly positive about my presentation. I'm at a school where I'm having a hard time getting people to take guitar building as a serious endeavor. And I did have a vice president who was on board who really thought it was great, and went to the engineering department. The engineering department grabbed their textbook out and said, look, it even has an electric guitar on the cover of the textbook we're using. And but one thing led to another, and that never really worked out. So I actually started a student club to build the guitars, and so we do it just with students who are interested in doing it, sometimes for no credit, sometimes you get independent study credit, and sometimes I found another teacher in the math department who I worked with, and so we made it. The math department has like a loose number like we have in the art department that you can do an experimental course with. It's Math 1470, so we also offered it as Math 1470. And then when I was down in the math department one day, I noticed that they had this big poster on the wall for the Society for Industrial and Applied Mathematics. So I looked at their website and I found that they had these things called Math Matters, Apply It. So they had them on like all kinds of little subject matters. So I contacted them and asked if they'd like one on guitars, and they said yes. So now I have so further proof that it's math. I have a few of these here if anybody wants to take one, but anyway, just trying to get that cross, interdisciplinary thing to do. So what did I say here? So I like the fact that it introduces into science and technology very subtly. I mean, I'm in the art department, and I have a lot of students who have a hard time using what I call the M word, measuring. And when I'm trying to get them to draw like perspective in the building, I say like things like, well, it occurred to me like about 10 years ago when they built the building, they probably measured everything in here. So, when you draw it, you might want to measure stuff to, to kind of follow suit. But so through, you can read this stuff, right? I don't have to read it to you, right? So I can just kind of talk while you look at that. I got some support, I started a student club, and then through the student club we get a budget, so we buy the guitars through the student budget from the club. And we've done a couple of cool field trips. We went over to Northampton Community College over in Pennsylvania, where they have a really nice fab lab that's totally built around the guitar building program. And then from there we went and had the VIP tour of the Martin Guitar Factory one time. And we also used some of our funding to buy about 100 hours for a small group of students to go to our local fab lab in Rhode Island, which is called AS220. And the students got exposure to 3D printers, laser cutters, all that kind of stuff there, and the CNC machine. But the thing I think that the thing that's really kind of neat is that it gives purpose to doing experiments rather than pouring a bunch of liquid in a jar and seeing what temperature it freezes at or whatever like that. That you're building something that's of interest to you, and but that's why I say that we know the stuff that the administration doesn't. So my challenge, and I'm here basically to beg for information, is how people who have these successful things happening at their schools, how does the administration buy into this in the first place? Because it's really difficult. And I explained to them, people are going to tell their friends and play the guitar, they feel good about learning, all this great stuff. And that, I use the expression, it's kind of like learning by surprise. It's like they realize when it's done that they've done some math, that they've done some physics, that they've done all this kind of stuff, that they know a little bit about their life. I have students who are sitting there, trying to figure out how to hold a screwdriver. I mean, it's just, it's amazing. This kid had a really neat kind of thing happen. Let me go back to Sam here. The guy on the right is he was, his mother was a Laotian refugee after the war, and came here, snuck out, one of the people that snuck out through the little things, and then he was over there for like 14 years after she got to the United States, and then he came, you know, so, and Raphael is a really nice guy. He's, you know, a lot of my students with special needs. In the middle of the guitar building project, his brother, older brother, who's a barber, somebody came in the barber shop and shot him, you know, and like the guitar, building this guitar was like a really important thing to help him get through that time period. And this guy, Christopher, he did the guitar that was in the first picture. One of the neat little byproducts of this is he has an uncle, and he didn't know all that well, but his uncle had a wood shop, and so this guitar project, you know, got him kind of tied together with his uncle, and he went up to his uncle's wood shop and cut some really kind of neat shapes out of the guitar with that, you know. And so then we figure out ways to sneak and get the publicity. So since I'm an artist, we did, there's a Museum of Work and Culture in Rhode Island. And so I figured, well, guitars are work and their culture. So we put together a show, and we also got a local newspaper came out and did a story on my students building their guitars. And so, but you can see, we call him Stan, his name is Sylvain. And then Raymond is an older student. He's a veteran, and one of the things he thought was really pretty interesting is just the whole idea of the camaraderie and the teamwork, you know, getting together, even if it's something as simple as holding something while the other person screws a screw or something like that. So anyway, my students really got into it. They got these Facebook pages going. We have 2 of them up. One is on the guitar, building the guitar, and then they did another Facebook page on the STEM aspect when we went to AS220 and did all that kind of stuff. This is the dean that works with me. And this is the poster we did for the exhibition there at the Museum of Work and Culture. And I thought the name of the show was pretty cool, exemplifying work and culture, right? It's kind of like what the guitarists do. And then, I'm talking too fast, because this is my last slide. But that's me that's not my shop, but that's my dream shop. That's the Dallas Fab Lab. That's just like one little room in the Dallas Fab Lab. If you've ever get a chance to go to Dallas, go see that place. It's 15,000 square feet of stuff. And then one of my guitars from this guitar building thing here that we do, that's actually one of the kits we built that was on the cover of Guitar Maker magazine a year ago. So, nice. But anyway, gee, I went too fast. I could do it again. Slower. How much time do I have left?
You've got like 5 minutes left.
5 minutes, right. Yes, sir.
Can you go back to that thing, the last one? I was trying to get the Facebook.
Oh, you know, I don't have any idea because I don't really Facebook myself, but if you type in CCRI, Lincoln Campus Art Club Guitar Project, you'll find it.
Okay.
And
did you say there was a second one down?
yeah, you'll find kind of both of them.
Okay.
You type, maybe you add the word STEM to it, you know. But I thought I had more pictures in here, but I guess I made 6 slides, figured each one would take me 45 seconds and I'd use up my time. But, you know, what we did is we got some styrofoam, like somebody mentioned the other day. We just went to Home Depot, got a big piece of styrofoam. We cut did some prototypes using the styrofoam on the CNC machine. And again, like, you know, my students, like they would never, ever sign up for an engineering class, you know. But the fact that they did this got them in the door, you know. And like I said, some of them, you know, not even sure how to hold a screwdriver at this point, you know. So, you know, anything that I could do to get them, you know, kind of up and running, you know, and get them to think about, you know, have success with the projects they do, I think is really cool. And somebody yesterday also mentioned the kit, you know, like that's kind of like oh, you can build it in a kit, you know. And it's like, you know, I used to build heat kits when I was a kid, you know, the radios, they weren't all that easy to do, you know. All it meant was all the parts were there. And when you think about it, I mean, the only thing that's really done to these is this, you know, a couple hours that you can do with a bandsaw and a router. So it's not like really like the job has been done for us, you know, ahead of time, you know. So, you know, I don't feel bad that the basic shapes have been cut out. But when we did the workshop at AS220, I was able to buy from Tom just the blanks, still as rectangles, And then the students were able to really, you know, customize the shapes of their guitars, and, you know, within the limitations, of course, we kept we kept the scale length the same and all that kind of stuff, you know, but they were really able to do a lot of experimentation. And that was where Carissa's guitar here, you know, that's the one he went to his grandfather's shop. And I have another little slide thing of 14 slides that's on the reflection that my students did. And one of the things he wrote about, which was kind of interesting, I thought, just how frustrated he was with the screws, because he snapped a couple screws off. And so he had to, like, you know, get in there and try to back those screws out. Now he had to patch the wood, so now he had to drill a hole and put a plug. So, I mean, there was this whole process that unveiled itself to him because of a head snapping off a screw, you know. So these are learning moments, you know, that you don't really anticipate, but that happen, and that can only happen in a course like this. You know, they're not going to happen where you're doing controlled experiments, you know, so much as they would, you know, in this, because there's a lot of opportunity for interesting things to happen. So anyway, is there another question? I think I have 2 minutes left.
You compensated for the club?
No, I just volunteered to do this. I'm essentially a selfish person, so I feel like I gain a lot for myself from it, or I don't think I do it, but, you know, I mean, we were building these during the summer and then also during the winter break. We also did a thing with acoustic guitars, and we bought kits, and you know, but really the kit is just basically, you know, the shape, the wood's cut out and everything. They still have to, you know, chisel the braces and you know, glue the fretboard on and thread it and all that kind of stuff, you know. So, and you have to glue the bridge, so you have to do some measuring and stuff. So, you know, I thought that was meaningful too. So we'll probably build another round of maybe acoustics during the summer, and also another half a dozen of these. So, but space is a problem. Rhode Island is a small state. I don't know if anybody knows that. And so, like, when I come to a place like this, I'm just like, oh my God, you know, there's just so much room, you know. And I begged. I said, give me a cage in the basement where they store furniture, you know, and I'll set up a fab lab or so I'll start working down there, you know, all the time. All right. All right, thank you very much.